Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad bin NOREHSAN. My matric number is 2025300811. So today we are going to present the findings about money demand and how it affects the Malaysian economy. In this session, we will look at the issues faced in money demand, the recommendations and suggestions that arise from the findings, and finally, the conclusion of the study. First, let's begin with the determinants of money demand in Malaysia. The main variables considered are real GDP, interest rate, consumer price index (CPI), financial innovation, and exchange rate. To study this, we use the autoregressive distributed leg testing approach (ARDL), which is suitable for examining both short-term and long-term influences. This method helps us to see not only immediate changes, but also how these factors shape money demand over time. One important highlight is the role of financial innovation. With the rise of digital payment and new financial tools, innovation is changing how people and businesses hold money, making it a crucial factor in today's economy. Moving to the findings, financial innovation increased short-term money demand, showing that new technologies encourage people to hold more money temporarily. GDP shows a negative relationship with real money holdings. This means as income grows, individuals and firms may rely more on investments or financial assets rather than keeping large cash balance. The exchange rate has a positive effect on long-term money demand. Stronger or more stable exchange rate encourage confidence in holding domestic currency. There is also a stable baseline of real money demand around 13.08 units, which reflects the underlying strength of Malaysia's monetary system. These results not only support classical theories of money demand but also provide practical guidance for monetary policy and liquidity management. Also, economists said that we have seen the determinants and findings of money demand. Let's move to the first issue highlighted in this study. So, the first issue is counterintuitive negative relationship between real GDP and money demand. The study finds a negative relationships between real GDP and money demand, and these results hold in both short-term and long-term. This is considered as counterintuitive because, according to Keynesian and classical theories, higher income should lead to higher money demand. The logic is simple. When people earn more, they usually spend more and keep more money for transaction and traditionally. However, in Malaysia's case, the opposite is observed as real GDP increase, money demand actually decreases. These are several possible explanations. First, asset substitution. People may prefer to hold financial assets such as stocks or bonds instead of cash. Second, financial deepening and efficient payment systems. With better access to financial services and faster transactions, the need to hold large amount of money is reduced. And last is smaller issues. Factors like omit variable or multi-coordinatory may also influence the results. These findings challenge traditional theory and suggest that Malaysia's financial environment is evolving. It shows that economic growth does not automatically translate into higher money demand, and policymakers need to consider how financial innovation and efficiency in payment systems change the way people manage liquidity.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is MOHAMMAD, and today I will discuss the second issue of the study, that is, the limited proxy used to measure financial innovation. From the study that will be conducted, it has used a level of lending from businesses as its measure for financial innovation. However, it has failed to account for development in technological financial innovation such as e-payment and internet banking. Development technology has shaped how consumers manage money and has resulted in consumers holding lesser cash than previous generations. Due to the limited nature, it may draw a very inaccurate and different conclusion that does not reflect technological advances in financial behavior. My name is Muhammad, and I will continue with the third part of the issue, that is the absence of structural break analysis despite long time horizon. The study makes use of the single historical data set from 1970 to 2018 without any structural breaks in the data, and it produces events such as the Asian financial crisis of 1997 to 1998, the implementation of different type regimes, and others have changed money behavior. By ignoring such events, it assumes that the relationship between the demand for money and the remaining constant is strongly unrealistic. And thus, it may not exactly dictate the structural changes caused by economic shocks. Its failure to perform structural break analysis will provide unrealistic estimates and thus give misleading evidences to base any financial policy moving forward.
Assalamualaikum, my name is HAIRUL Rashid bin Harun Nizam. Next, I will explain our first recommendation, which is optimizing the model structure to integrate financial development asset substitution. In the study, we observe a negative relationship between real GDP and money demand, which contradict traditional monetary theory. Normally, when income increases, people are expected to hold more money for transaction and precautionary purpose. However, this unexpected result suggests that the model may be misspecified. One possible explanation is financial development and asset substitution. As Malaysia's financial system becomes more advanced, individuals and firms no longer rely heavily on holding M2. Instead, they shift their wealth into alternative financial assets such as bonds, unit trusts, and digital financial instruments which offer higher return or greater convenience because these factors are not included in the model. The effect of financial sophistication is incorrectly captured by the GDP variable, causing the GDP coefficient to appear negative. Therefore, we recommend including financial development variables and asset substitution measures such as government bonds, yield, to improve model accuracy and better explanation money demand behavior. Moving on to the second recommendation, which is creating a multi-dimensional index for measuring financial innovation. The study measures financial innovation using only domestic credit as a percentage of GDP, which is too narrow and does not fully reflect today's financial environment. This approach overlooks major digital developments such as e-wallet, online banking, and real-time payment system like Do It Now, which have significantly changed how money is held and used. In reality, financial innovation is multidimensional and affects payment methods, financial access, and product offerings. Relying on a single proxy may lead to measurement errors and underestimate the true impact of financial innovation on money demand. Therefore, we recommend developing a composite financial innovation index which includes indicators such as digital payment usage, e-wallet penetration, financial access, and Islamic banking assets. This index will provide a more comprehensive and accurate measurement of financial innovation and its influence on money demand.
My name is NAJMAN bin ROSLI, and here I will present about section 3.3. In section 3.3, we discuss why structural break analysis is important. The ARDL model assumes that the long-run relationship between variables is stable over time. However, in Malaysia, this assumption may not be realistic because the economy experienced major events between 1970 and 2018. The most important one was the 1997 until 1998 Asian financial crisis, which caused major policy changes. There was also the 28 global financial crisis and several financial sector reforms. If these structural breaks are ignored, the model may combine different economic conditions and produce unreliable long-run results. Therefore, structural break tests such as the Zivot-Andrews and By-Perron test should be applied to identify these changes. Once identified, the breaks can be included in the ARDL model using dummy variable or by estimating separate model for different periods. This ensures that the estimate parameters are stable and makes the model more reliable for monetary policy decisions by Bank Negara Malaysia. In conclusion, the ARDL analysis shows that money demand in Malaysia is influenced by GDP interest rates, inflation, financial innovation, and exchange rates. In the long run, exchange rates have a positive effect on money demand, while in the short run, financial innovation plays a significant role. However, the negative relationship between GDP and money demand is unexpected and suggests possible model limitation. This is further weakened by the use of a limited proxy for financial innovation and the absence of structural break analysis. Overall, money demand in Malaysia reflects a dynamic financial system rather than income alone. Future studies should incorporate broader financial innovation measures and structural break analysis to support more effective monetary policy by Bank Negara Malaysia. That's all from me. Thank you.